Jim Abbott, the pitcher who changed the game. A night etched in baseball history. September 4th, 1993. Yankee Stadium trembled beneath the noise of nearly 27,000 fans. On the mound stood Jim Abbott, his left arm coiled, his focus unbreakable. The scoreboard glared Yankees 4, Indians 0. The Cleveland hitters had yet to collect a single hit. The final batter, Paul Sorrento, dug into the box. Abbott drew a deep breath, delivered a sharp pitch, and froze him. Strike 3. Game over. The crowd erupted as teammates charged the mound. Abbott had thrown a no-hitter, a feat reserved for the rarest nights in baseball. But what made it unforgettable was who had done it. A man born with only one hand. Early life, making his own way. Jim Abbott was born on September 19, 1967, in Flint, Michigan, without a right hand. Where others saw limitation, young Jim learned invention. He developed a seamless routine throwing the pitch, slipping his left hand into the glove on his right forearm to field the ball, then tucking the glove under his arm to make the next throw. It wasn't perfect at first. He dropped balls, missed plays, and heard skeptics say he'd never belong on a real diamond. But every failure became a drill. Every doubt became fuel. Breaking through from Flint to the world stage. By high school, Abbott was a two-sport star, commanding both the football field and the baseball mound. His fastball cracked 90 miles per hour, and his presence demanded attention. At the University of Michigan, he blossomed into an All-American pitcher. But the real breakthrough came in 1987, at the Pan American Games in Indianapolis. Facing Cuba, the global powerhouse of amateur baseball, Abbott delivered a performance for the ages. He became the first American pitcher in 25 years to defeat Cuba on Cuban soil, snapping their iron grip on international dominance. Opposing lineups often tried to exploit his missing hand, bunting to test his reflexes. But Abbott's mastery of his glove transfer turned those attempts into highlights. The very thing they thought would expose him instead displayed his brilliance. A year later, he joined Team USA at the Seoul Olympics, leading the Americans to gold. Every MLB scout now had him circled. That same year, the California Angels made him a first-round pick, and in a rare leap, he skipped the minor leagues entirely. Big league arrival. Abbott debuted in 1989, winning 12 games in his rookie season. Over the next decade, he piled up 87 wins, 888 strikeouts, and a career ERA of 4.25. His numbers told one story. His fielding told another. Against bunts, line drives, and comebackers, Abbott was poetry in motion pitch, glove switch, snag, throw. To his peers, it wasn't a handicap. It was artistry. The defining night. By 1993, Abbott was wearing Yankee pinstripes. That September evening, every pitch seemed to dance. His fastball had late zip. His slider broke just enough, and his defense stood tall behind him. In the ninth inning, the crowd could barely sit. Wayne Kirby grounded out. Carlos Baerga popped to left. And then came Sorrento. 3 strikes later, Abbott was in the record books, with one of the rarest feats in baseball, a no-hitter. Battles beyond the box score. Abbott's career had its valleys. Some seasons his ERA ballooned. Critics questioned if the league had figured him out. Yet he kept grinding, studying hitters, adjusting mechanics, never backing down. "I had to learn to live with failure," he later said. "Baseball teaches you that. But every day, you get the chance to start again." He continued his comeback the following year with the Milwaukee Brewers, but pitched ineffectively. This was the first time he had played for a National League team, which meant batting for the first time in his professional career. Surprisingly, Abbott managed 2 hits in 21 at-bats during his Brewers stint, small moments that symbolized his determination to compete in every facet of the game. A life after the mound. Abbott retired in 1999, but his story only grew larger. In 2007, he released his memoir, Imperfect and Improbable Life, a book that connected with anyone facing obstacles. He became a sought-after speaker, reminding audiences of one central truth: don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can. He also poured himself into advocacy, visiting hospitals, mentoring young athletes with limb differences, and showing families that possibility is bigger than disability. The legacy of one hand. For amputees, Abbott wasn't just a pitcher, he was proof. Proof that boundaries could be pushed. Proof that greatness wasn't measured in what you lacked, but in what you refused to give up. Fans remember September 4th, 1993, as the night Jim Abbott carved his name into baseball lore. But the greater legacy is quieter: a child learning to throw despite a missing limb, a teenager daring to dream because Abbott showed it was possible, a community uplifted by courage, shaped in leather and seams. On paper, his career reads 87 wins, 4.25 ERA, 888 strikeouts, one no-hitter. But the true stat is simpler: one hand, one dream, one unforgettable life.
It's time to study new words, especially baseball terms. 1. Etch. Definition: to carve, engrave, or firmly imprint something so that it is remembered or lasts for a long time. Example: the champion's victory was etched in the memory of every fan who saw it. 2. Seamless. Definition: smooth and continuous, without any noticeable breaks, gaps, or difficulties. Example: the dancer's movements were so seamless that the audience could not see where one step ended and the next began. 3. Powerhouse. Definition: a person, team, or organization with great strength, energy, or influence. Example: the company quickly became a powerhouse in the technology industry. 4. For the ages. Definition: something so extraordinary that it will be remembered and celebrated for a very long time. Example: her speech at the graduation ceremony was truly one for the ages. 5. Exploit. Definition: to take unfair advantage of a weakness or situation for one's own benefit. Example: the player tried to exploit his opponent's injured ankle by hitting balls to that side of the court. 6. Turned those attempts into highlights. Definition: to take challenges or efforts made against someone and transform them into impressive or memorable successes. Example: instead of being discouraged by the questions, she turned those attempts into highlights of her presentation. 7. Comebackers. Baseball term. Definition: a ball that is hit directly back toward the pitcher after being pitched. Example: the pitcher caught the comebacker with quick reflexes and threw the runner out at first base. 8. Snag. Definition: to catch or grab something quickly, often with skill or luck. Example: he managed to snag the foul ball just before it reached the stands. 9. Artistry. Definition: great skill or creativity in doing something, especially in a way that shows beauty or mastery. Example: the artistry of her piano playing moved the audience to tears. 10. Defining. Definition: something that clearly shows the most important quality or moment of a person or event. Example: winning the championship was the defining moment of his career. 11. Pinstripes. Definition: thin, vertical stripes on clothing in baseball. It often refers to the uniform of the New York Yankees, who are famous for wearing pinstripes. Example: every kid in New York dreamed of wearing the Yankees pinstripes one day. 12. Late zip. Baseball term. Definition: a fastball that seems to speed up or stay lively just before reaching the batter, making it harder to hit. Example: his fastball had late zip, surprising the hitter as it crossed the plate. 13. Figured him out. Definition: to understand someone's methods or strategies well enough to predict and counter them. Example: the chess player lost after his opponent finally figured him out. 14. Grinding. Definition: working very hard and persistently even when the work is tough or exhausting. Example, he kept grinding through practice every day until he improved his skills. 15. The box score. Definition: a summary of a baseball game shown in numbers, listing runs, hits, errors, and player statistics. Example, the box score showed that the pitcher had struck out 12 batters. 16. Stint. Definition: a short period of time spent doing a particular job or activity. Example, she completed a 2-year stint teaching English overseas. 17. Facet. Definition: one part or aspect of something that has many sides. Example, honesty is an important facet of good leadership. 18. A sought-after speaker. Definition: a person who is in high demand to give speeches because of their reputation, skill, or story. Example, the author became a sought-after speaker at universities and conferences. 19. Advocacy. Definition: public support or active efforts to promote a cause or idea. Example, her advocacy for children's education inspired many volunteers to join the program.
Comprehension questions. 1. Who was Jim Abbott, and what made his career remarkable? Answer: Jim Abbott was a Major League Baseball pitcher. Born without a right hand. His career was remarkable because he overcame this challenge to pitch successfully in the MLB, including throwing a no-hitter for the New York Yankees in 1993. 2. When and where was Jim Abbott's famous no-hitter thrown? Answer: September 4, 1993, at Yankee Stadium against the Cleveland Indians. 3. How did Abbott adapt to playing baseball with one hand? Answer: he developed a routine where he pitched with his left hand. Quickly slipped that hand into a glove on his right forearm to field the ball. Then tucked the glove under his arm to grab and throw the ball again with his left hand. 4. What strategy did opposing teams sometimes use against Abbott? And how did he respond? Answer: teams often bunted to exploit his missing hand, but Abbott's quick glove transfer and practice allowed him to field bunts effectively, turning their strategy into a showcase of his skill. 5. What major achievement did Abbott earn at the 1987 Pan American Games? Answer: he became the first American pitcher in 25 years to defeat the Cuban national team on Cuban soil. 6. What medal did Abbott win at the 1988 Seoul Olympics, and with which team? Answer: he won a gold medal with Team USA. 7. Which MLB team drafted Abbott? And what was unusual about his entry into professional baseball? Answer: the California Angels drafted him in the first round of 1988. And unusually, he skipped the minor leagues entirely and went straight to the majors. 8. How many career wins and strikeouts did Abbott record in Major League Baseball? Answer: he recorded 87 wins and 888 strikeouts. 9. What made Abbott's fielding ability stand out to fellow players? Answer: his smooth, lightning-fast transitions between pitching, fielding, and throwing despite having one hand made his fielding as impressive as his pitching. 10. Who was the final batter Abbott struck out to complete his no-hitter in 1993? Answer: Paul Sorrento of the Cleveland Indians. 11. What challenges did Abbott face during his career besides his disability? Answer: he struggled with inconsistency, high ERA seasons, and criticism when hitters adjusted to his pitching. 12. Did Jim Abbott ever bat in a Major League Baseball game? Answer: yes, he did, after he joined the Milwaukee Brewers. Since the Brewers played in the National League at that time, pitchers were required to bat. During his stint with the Brewers, Abbott recorded 2 hits in 21 at-bats. 13. What was the title of Abbott's 2007 memoir, and what was its main message? Answer: Imperfect, an Improbable Life. Its main message was perseverance and the idea: don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can. 14. How did Abbott continue to inspire others after retiring from baseball? Answer: he became a motivational speaker, wrote a memoir, and worked with children with limb differences, showing them they could still achieve their dreams. 15. Why is Abbott considered a symbol for the amputee community? Answer: he proved that a physical limitation does not define a person's potential, inspiring amputees and others to believe in their abilities. 16. Summarize Abbott's legacy in one sentence. Answer: Jim Abbott's legacy is that of a one-handed pitcher who not only threw a no-hitter in Major League Baseball, but also redefined what determination, adaptability, and courage can achieve.